In this video we're going to have a look at this challenge where we're going to use a combination of hiding elements and the hide and show example to create a button that calls a function that will toggle between hiding and showing a piece of text. So first of all, we'll look at this hide example. So this hide example shows that when I click this bit of text will disappear, but when I click it again it'll still stay disappeared. So first of all, we have a paragraph with ID demo, and it says when I click this this button, find this particular tag with the ID of demo, then to the CSS, in other words the styling, you need to display that element and set that to none. Okay, so when I click me, now the text is gone, and if I click me again, it still disappears. So it only has one direction. So what we're going to do is figure out how to toggle between that. So whereas this example will hide the piece of text, this example here will show you how to click on a button and show a bit of text. So we have our H2, our heading, then we have a paragraph, that's this paragraph over here, and we have another paragraph, but we can't see that at the moment because the display is set to none. So this button, click me, says that when we click it, find this paragraph demo and set the display to block. So this might be a little bit confusing initially, but if we want to show that, so we set display to block, and now we see our bit of text. The first thing I'll do is I'm going to create a button. Click me, save this, and then I'm going to open this in my browser. And I have my button. Obviously it doesn't do anything yet. So on load, on my page load, I can either show or hide the text, and I'm going to show the text, and this time I'm going to put it in a div element. Okay, I'm going to give this an ID, and this ID is going to be my div. So in my div, I'm going to say, I can just put in alarm and 100 words. Okay, save it. Now when we click this, we want to then hide it, of course. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the script here at the top of the page, so that we're not switching between files. Okay, just for clarity. So I want to create some kind of event to this button, some action. So when I click it, so on click, I'm going to call a function. Now I'm going to call this function something simple like my function. Again, it's followed with parentheses and a semicolon. Then up here I need to declare my function, and it's going to be my function. I get rid of the semicolon, and this is where the magic happens. So when I click this, the first thing I could do is I can check to see if my element is being displayed or not, and if it is being displayed, I can hide it, whereas if it's hidden, I can unhide it. So the way we could do that is we look for my my element with that ID. So I get element by ID. The ID was my div. Okay, and if the style is set to none, then do something. Okay, now I haven't got my if, so I need to put the if statement. So if it is set to none, we run a little bit of code which is going to say display it. Okay, we display this, and we set it to block. On the other hand, if we have that, so on the other hand is else. So if else, we have that the element style display is not none. Okay, so in other words, it is being displayed. We want to set that value or assign that value to none, like this. So I save that. So I refresh this, click on it, and it doesn't work. Okay, so there's a little mistake in my code, and I can see up here actually this source isn't supposed to be there. So save that. Oh, save it, refresh, and now it's toggling between the two. Okay, so there was one other thing here. I might just get rid of that semicolon here. Refresh. Okay, now so another trick that you'll see a lot being done in JavaScript, to see this here, this code here is being repeated. So I copy and paste it, and it's not particularly a good method to do it. So what you can do is you kind of shorten this code. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that into a variable called x, like so. And so every time I now call that variable x, I can get rid of the style. I'm actually going to call this here. Okay, so which means that I can get rid of this. I can replace that with x. I can replace this with x, and I can replace this with x. Save it, refresh it, and it does the same thing. So it's just a little bit easier that every time you want to call this whole bit of code here, you can just create the x variable and then follow it with whatever method or command you want after that. So there was one last thing that I wanted to point out, and it is these treble equals and double equals. So just to point out what the differences are. So double equals, and if you get this, these are comparison operators. Okay, it's to check to see if two values are the same or not. And so the double equals operator is known as the equality or abstract comparison operator, and the triple equals known as the identity or strict comparison operator. And what that essentially means in short is that if you're comparing a string with an integer, the double operator will assign that as true and sees them as the same thing, whereas strictly speaking they are of different data types, so therefore the triple operator will see that as false. So the last thing what we'll do is we're going to put this script into our external file. So just get rid of this from the previous part. So I just make sure that's still working. Click, yeah. I grab this code, right? And if I save this and refresh my page, it doesn't work anymore. I put this into my script, paste it, and if I go back to my index, I can see that my script is actually being called. Now I can leave this tag here, refresh, and now because I'm calling in that bit of script on the external file, it works. So if I delete this is just an empty tag, it will still work. Okay.